You work hard but feel your money slipping through your fingers? What if I told you you're trapped in an invisible web of consumption, designed to never let you escape? It's not your luxury spending that sinks you. It's the small, everyday purchases, camouflaged as needs and driven by algorithms that know your deepest desires, silently robbing you of your financial freedom. The light from your monitor shines, but it conceals figures floating over an anxious mind, a digital web where every click is a knot. This isn't a conspiracy theory. It's the debt matrix, an architecture so intricate you don't even notice the gears turning the cycle of debt as coins fall into a bottomless abyss, pixel by pixel. You're navigating a labyrinth of offers and installments, convinced you're in control. This video isn't about blaming the system. It's about unmasking its operation. It's about shining a dim light in the shadowy environment of this invisible prison. Are you ready to see the strings pulling your wallet and turning you into a slave of hidden consumption? To break the chains made of credit cards? Do you feel the rope tightening? It's not imagination. It's the reality of invisible debt, orchestrated by hidden consumption. It's not about big loans or maxed out credit cards, but the subtle erosion of your financial power, drip by drip, through small, everyday purchases camouflaged as needs that add up to mountains. Think of the streaming services you forgot, the subscriptions that auto-renew, that seemingly harmless daily coffee, the impulses when scrolling through your feed. Each of these micro-expenses is a thread, building an invisible spiderweb that traps you. It's a simple but brutal concept. You're paying for a life you don't realize you're buying. This is the architecture. Your behavior is analyzed by ravenous algorithms that know your deepest desires, your weaknesses, your scarcity traumas, and your search for validation. They don't sell you products, but the illusion of solutions, convenience, belonging. Images of prosperity are projected while the narration reveals a silent bankruptcy behind the curtain. Psychological capitalism operates in the shadows, transforming your convenience into your servitude. You've been conditioned to accept this routine, to see these expenses as normal, essential. But they are just the tightening knots. You're stuck on the Ferris wheel of having, each click of the invisible chain further imprisoning your mind and wallet. If this financial pain has visited you, comment below. You are being mapped. Every click, every search, every item you pause to look at. Ravenous algorithms observe you, understand you, and more terrifyingly, predict your next desire. They construct a mirror that reflects the void of your consumption, and then they sell you the illusion that the next product, the next convenience is what will fill it. This is no accident. It's desire engineering in its darkest form. Daniel Kahneman taught us about cognitive biases. Here, they are weapons. The anchoring bias makes the promotional price seem irresistible, even if the offer is a trap. The herd mentality pushes you towards what everyone else is buying, feeding FOMO, the fear of missing out, an invisible spiderweb of social consumption. The manipulation deepens. It's not about selling a product, but about selling an identity. Do you want to be healthy? Here comes a diet subscription, a fitness app, expensive supplements. Do you want to be productive? A new organization tool, an online course, a cutting-edge gadget. The system doesn't attack your wallet directly. It targets your psyche, your insecurities, your desire for belonging. Invisible strings pull your wallet, responding to every hidden yearning. It's a spiderweb that traps you in a labyrinth of offers and installments, where the way out always seems to be the next expense. The scales unbalanced by impulsive financial decisions tip against you, keeping you in a vicious cycle. Hidden consumption is the banality of evil, as Hannah Arendt would describe it, enslaving you so subtly that you become an active participant in your own prison. You feel overwhelmed. The invisible weight of the unpaid bill crushes every breath, a mountain of numbers and anxiety. The debt matrix doesn't just hit your wallet, it tears apart your peace, your mental health, your capacity to dream. It's a hidden debt that manifests as insomnia, irritability, and a constant feeling of inadequacy. The promise of convenience and ease transforms into a snowball of frustration and disillusionment. You work tirelessly, but money slips through the cracks of an impulsive decision, feeding a vicious cycle of consumption and guilt. The ephemeral glow of pleasure on the screen, quickly devoured by a void that screams for more. A silent bill that never quiets. This behavioral sabotage isn't an accident. It's the direct result of you being caught on the Ferris wheel of having, each click of the invisible chain further imprisoning your mind. Consumer society, as Byung-Chul Han would say, demands performance, and you're performing a success you don't have, buying happiness that only puts you deeper in debt. Online flaunting, that perfect life on the feed, is the cruelest trap. It forces you into debt that brings no joy, only the anxiety of the next installment, of figures floating over an anxious mind. The impact is visceral. Your freedom is eroded, your identity fragmented. You become a slave to hidden consumption, caught in a web you barely perceive. The life you perform on social media is an illusion, and the real one, happening offline, is in ruins. The true tragedy, as Norman Cousins would have us reflect, isn't the debt itself, but the life unlived, the peace unfelt, the soul imprisoned by an architecture of consumption. Do you also feel this spending compulsion? Write in the comments. You feel exhausted, caught in the web of hidden consumption, but there's no easy off switch. Freedom isn't in another spreadsheet or magical tip. It resides in the dim light in a shadowy environment, in the brutal clarity of recognizing the tactics that trap you. Self-defense begins with critical consciousness. Understand that money isn't just a tool, it's a psychological battlefield. Morgan Housel, with his Psychology of Money, reminds us that emotions dictate more than logic. It's time to deactivate emotional triggers, those that lead you to small, compulsive purchases, to invisible strings pulling your wallet without you even realizing it. Deconstruct the narrative. You are not merely a consumer, you are a target. The system wants you on the Ferris wheel of having, trapped between the gears turning the debt cycle. True wealth isn't in your bank balance, but in controlling your own mind, in not allowing algorithms to know your deepest desires better than you do. This demands an internal struggle, a recognition of your scarcity trauma, your search for external validation. Start turning the tables. Don't run from your bank statement. Look at it as a map. Every hidden expense is a clue to your own prison. Authentic financial freedom isn't about accumulating. It's about the liberation of your mind from the chains made of credit cards. It's about the power to choose, not to react. It's about transforming pain into presence, indebtedness into self-knowledge. The matrix exists, but control is in your hands. Do you also feel this spending compulsion? Write in the comments. You felt it. The weight of the invisible chains, the pain of hidden consumption. There's no more running, nothing left to ignore. The truth is this: the debt matrix enslaves you, but you have the power to deactivate the triggers, to reverse the game. Understanding the patterns of hidden consumption and the tactics behind them is your first line of defense. Father John Karapi would speak of the evil disguised in the temptations of consumption. Here, it's algorithmic manipulation. Your freedom isn't in possession, it's in conscious choice, in refusing to be just another data point. The coins falling into an abyss don't have to be yours. Feel the fury of liberation, the rage of being manipulated, and transform it into brutal action. Not to buy, but to be free. To have a life where money serves your essence, not your prison. May this silence call you to your true freedom, the one the matrix cannot touch. Understanding the patterns of hidden consumption and the tactics behind them is your first line of defense. Free yourself from the matrix by deactivating the triggers that bind you and start reversing the game. If the debt matrix traps you, comment, "I will deactivate the triggers." Leave in the comments, "Financial programming ends with me." Share this video with anyone still living on consumption autopilot. Subscribe if you want to keep breaking financial cycles with me.